The late adopter. Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel and the new Bitcoin video. So today we're gonna talk about small time frames and why everybody is very fearful that we might drop towards downside. Now, fear is actually good for the market, and we want fear in the market because that's, you know, when the price change direction and go towards the other side. So I like that people are fearful. I like that people are thinking that we are gonna drop down to 30k, because that gives me confidence that maybe, just maybe, we are hitting some kind of bottoms and we might reverse. So we're not gonna talk too much about that, but you know, we're gonna talk about small time frames down here and what's happening on the chart and why we are dumping on this move towards downside. Now, the first thing first, this move over here is, I thought that this might have been some kind of channel up here, and I was drawing the channel something like this up here, give or take. I was drawing the channel something like this, but it might have also been some kind of a rising wedge, and I think right now it might have been some kind of short-term rising wedge happening up here. I'm going to show you. You can see very nice lines up here, how it, you know, started going towards the upside, and over here it broke on the downside. You can see maybe it was some kind of rising wedge, maybe, give or take, right? Give or take. There are no certainties in life, but it looks like some kind of rising wedge. So we broke that down here. We tried to get back into the wedge 2 times, and then we fell on the downside. But you know, this might have been, you know, finished right now, because we are hitting the bottom of this wedge up here somewhere. So you know, this pattern is more or less played out. The question is what happened next. Let me show you up here on the 4-hourly time frame. And if you remember during the, you know, the pain period down here, when we thought every time that we are going to go towards downside, there was a very important trend line up here that we tried to break towards the upside, you know, to stop this move to going towards downside. So if you're this move to going towards downside, so if you remember that, the trend line went something like this, give or take. It went something like this, you can see. And as soon as we broke this trend line towards the upside up here, we become super bullish. This was some kind of, we thought this was some kind of retest, and you know, right now we can continue going towards the upside. But you can see we tried to go in upside and we fell down, but you can see we are still above the trend line. So we still didn't, you know, we are not continuing this trend towards the downside. We haven't broken the trend line on the downside yet. So the way I see it, there is nothing to be fearful about. This is normal move towards the downside. We did break some important level on the downside down here, but still we are above the trend line. And if we continue going towards the downside, I'm seeing something like this, you know, slow move towards the downside. And I don't see any kind of big moves. I don't see any kind of big move. Let me do this on, you can put on 4-hourly. I don't see any kind of big moves towards the downside. If people are going to talk about 30k or something like that, 38k, I don't see any kind of big moves before we actually break the 40.8k down here. So the 40.8k breaking the trend line down here might push us, you know, to some kind of low levels here between 39, 38k. But right now I don't see that. Right now I'm not fearful. Right now it's just, you know, going back down to the support line for whatever reason. Maybe it's some kind of shakeout, trying to get out players out of the market, but it's really no big deal. The way I see it right now, it's just a testing of the resistance or support, maybe for the second time, and you know, continuing going towards the upside. Now on the bigger time frames, we are still not out of the big dump yet. Of course, everybody knows that. Even if you draw it something like this, even if you draw it all the way down here, I mean, we are still not out of this trend yet. I mean, we still got a little while to go, but you know, on the small time frames we are not bad either. You know, there is nothing that says right now that we are gonna dump heavily towards downside. Now we are below all of the moving averages, and we need, you know, eventually, you know, get back up again and stuff like that. But right now I don't see you know, the big moves towards downside. I will be fearful if we start breaking this trend line again. If we start breaking the trend line again, and at the same time also breaking the 40.8 level down here. So if you break all of this, you know, I would be fearful as well. But right now it's okay. It's small move towards downside, everything is fine. I don't think there is a lot of panic in the market right now. I mean, people, like I said, people are a little bit fearful, but you know, there is no panic yet, and there is no reason to panic yet, because this, I think and hope that this should bounce towards the upside. So the way I see it right now on the daily time frame as well, daily time frame is actually this candle, yesterday's candle, was actually quite bad, because this is this is bearish engulfing candle down here, and you know it's bigger than previous candle over here, so it is some kind of bearish signal, and it did get rejected by this 10 moving average, but we are not dumping on the downside just yet. We are just still not dumping on the downside, and the way I see it, we can just, you know, start, you know, climbing back above this line again and continue towards the upside. So this is definitely not anything that I consider, you know, problematic right now, and this sideways move can continue for a while on a bigger time frames until we break the very important trend line. So let me draw the trend line for you up here so you can see that. We're gonna draw it on the weekly time frame because that's the one that's most accurate. So if you see it on the if you see this on the daily time frame with the trend line, so you'll see right now that we have some kind of support down here. Maybe technically the support is actually at 41 up here at the, on the daily time frame, but we can definitely we have time, you know, we have time to break this trend line. We have time to break the trend line. Okay, so we don't want to fall back down, but you know, anything that happens here, anything that happens in this triangle down here, whatever happens, it's just a trading range. It's not the reason to be fearful anything about like that. So if it goes a little bit towards the downside, a little bit up, a little bit down, like it really doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is going a lot down and going a lot up, right? Don't think it matters. But right now, the way I see it, just trading range. People are doing what people are doing. It's a little bit in green, it's a little bit in red, you know. As soon as it's green, you think it's gonna go 20% in green. As soon as a little bit in red, you think it's gonna go minus 20% in red, you know, and stuff like that. So it is some kind of shakeout happening on the chart and stuff like that. But you know, I'm not really worried right now for that anything is kind of that anything is gonna happen. And if nothing else, I'm even a little bit more bullish right now. You know, when people are fearful. That said, guys, come back tomorrow. Tomorrow we're gonna check out what's happening, right? Am I correct or not? You know, but you know, right now there is not much to talk about. You know, it goes a little bit up, a little bit down, you know, trading range. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button on the way out as always, and you know what, guys, see you around, same time, same place. Bye bye.